as the chair, and that's good. It's not quite evening yet. But welcome to the November meeting of the River Advisory Committee of Exeter. And first thing I have to do is read this preamble. It says good evening, but I'm going to say good afternoon. As chair of the River Advisory Committee of Exeter, I'm declaring that an emergency exists, and I am invoking the provisions of RSA 91A:2, Roman numeral 3, parentheses little b. Federal, state, and local officials have determined that gatherings of 10 or more people pose a substantial risk to our community in its continuing efforts to combat the spread of COVID-19. In concurring with their determination, I also find that this meeting is imperative to the continued operation of town government and services which are vital to the public safety and confidence during this emergency. As such, this meeting will be conducted without a quorum of this body physically present in the same location. At this time, I also welcome members of the public accessing this meeting remotely. Even though this meeting is being conducted in a unique manner under unusual circumstances, the usual rules of conduct and decorum apply. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their name, also please state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting. Okay, and I'll start. My name is Richard Huber. I'm the chair of this committee. And my wife is hiding somewhere in this apartment, but doesn't intend to join the meeting unless there's something goes wrong with her computer, and then she can help me.
Oh, Jenny Robb, and there's nobody here but me.
Lionel Ingram, I'm alone.
Terry Harmon, I'm alone.
Carl Wickstrom, I'm alone.
Warren Biggins, and I'm alone. Dan, you're on mute.
Now I'm unmuted. Dan Jones, and I'm alone.
Hi, I'm Don Clement, a member of the general public, and I'm alone.
Did we get everybody?
I think
we did. I think we did. That's the total amount of our quorum. We have a quorum. Okay. The first item on the agenda is the minutes of the September 17th meeting. And I do not have them. I have not received them. We can't review them. And this is a problem. I have tried to communicate with our recording secretary 2 times this month, and I got a response in the last hour that there's technical difficulties and she'll get the minutes to us as soon as she can. But last October 6th, I went to a virtual workshop on right to know law, and a lot of issues were brought up for attention. The right to know is evolving law. But it becomes apparent that there is a need to release draft minutes within 5 business days of the meeting and make them public on the website so that the public can see them. And we are not doing that. It's been 2 months since our last meeting and draft minutes didn't materialize. So this will be an issue that we need to work on. But anyway, at this point, I would say we have to review the September minutes and the minutes of this meeting at the next meeting. And we'll have to decide when that will be. Okay, anybody want to comment further on this problem or this issue? I have to watch this participants list to see who's raising their hand, and seeing none, I'll go on. Okay, the next thing would be Paul Vlasich telling us what the status of stuff is. Apparently he wasn't available to come to the meeting, but he did send me an email, which I will read. As far as updates on Pickpocket, management still has a hold on the funding approved in last year's CIP, Capital Improvement Plan. I cannot move forward with a consultant contract. The current CIP request is for $300,000, which will take us through a feasibility study. The work encompassing the combined funds from last year and this upcoming CIP can be completed in calendar year 2021. This will allow enough time for the town to decide on the course of action by the LOD, that's letter of deficiency, mandated timeline of June 2022. So that's the content of the email that I got from Paul. So that's all there is to that. Next thing on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have my hand raised.
I'm sorry, Don, I didn't notice that, but there it is. Your hand is raised. Let me recognize.
Just to bring everyone up to date, I am a member of the Budget Committee, and the Budget Committee has been meeting for a couple of months. But Tuesday night, they met and went over capital improvements projects. The Pickpocket Dam CIP was discussed at quite very lengthy discussion. The final resolution, as a recommendation by the Budget Committee, was to create a capital reserve fund for the Pickpocket Dam study, to place the held $90,000 from last year's town meeting vote, and to put forth another $100,000 this year into the capital reserve fund. The capital reserve fund is to be used for a lot of questions were raised at the meeting and beforehand about legal issues that may or may not arise out of this whole process. So the money in the capital reserve fund is to go forward to make sure that we have the right legal representation, legal work done to look at those issues with not just DES, but also with the town of Brentwood. And if there's any money left over, it does provide some funds to do a more focused, low-level feasibility study in 2021. That was a lot of the discussion about to narrow in other words, instead of trying to look at a feasibility of 4 or 5 different alternatives, to reduce that scope to maybe 1 or 2 alternatives. So that was the recommendation and the action of the Budget Committee Tuesday night. Those recommendations, of course, will go to the Select Board, and they'll move forward from there, and it'll be a public hearing. So that's the status of the Pickpocket Dam Capital Improvements Program to date.
Okay, thank you. That's a good update. We'll have to watch closely what happens next, and hopefully Paul will be able to tell us how we can proceed at our next meeting. One other thing I attended was a climate forum where they addressed 6 different climate research issues that Exeter has been involved with, and I have to say I'm very proud of Exeter's involvement in all of these 6 studies. Did anybody else go to that climate forum?
I think I did.
Yeah, was your impression similar? It's really nice to be involved in some place where they're taking it seriously.
We don't have a serious problem as, say, some of the neighboring towns, but, what we do have is we're being addressed.
Very impressive climate forum. Okay, so I'm on to other business. I will look for raised hands. And seeing none, do we want to go to public comment? I'm not seeing any public comment hands raised. So the important thing is to decide when we're going to meet next. The third Thursday of December is the 17th. I don't know if that crowds Christmas this year, but if we decided not to meet in December, then the next third Thursday is the 21st of January in 2021, which hopefully will be a much better year than 2020 has been. So,
A quick question.
sure.
Will the budget committee have met sufficiently to make a decision on what Don told us by the 17th of December?
Not sure who can answer that. Nico wasn't able to come to this meeting, and he was our selectman representative.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we make the 17th provisional, and if nothing has been done to move it forward, Paul can't tell us anything, and we just say we'll meet in January. If something has happened, we can throw the thing together on the 17th.
Okay, and when would we decide that? Like a week before, when I would put the agenda out with the minutes a week before. And of course, if we have 2 sets of minutes, that might be enough reason to meet. I don't know.
I don't think there's enough reason to meet. I think you can do it if we don't have a decision from the powers that be by the time you want to put the agenda out. We don't do it. We just shift to the 21st of January.
Okay, so the plan would be the Thursday before December 17th, I would send an email that would either be an agenda or a description that we're postponing the meeting till January. That's done right?
With other people, I think so.
Everyone okay with that? I see noddings of heads. Okay, so 12/17 it is provisionally. And I hope that doesn't interfere with anybody's Christmas plans.
I don't.
Not many people are traveling for Christmas this year.
I guess not. Not this year. Maybe next year.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I had my hand raised again, but I guess you didn't see it.
I have to be looking over here to
I know.
see hands raised.
That's okay.
Oh, Carl has his hand raised. We'll have to see
To line
Carl.
this question, I think the actions, the schedule for town meeting is, I believe the select board holds a public hearing in January for the budget and the warrant articles. And then they make their final vote after that public hearing to move that forward for deliberative session. Deliberative session will probably be right at the end of December, the end of January, beginning of February again, like it usually is. It's 6 weeks prior to the March town meeting. So there won't be any action in December, final action in December, I believe, from the select board as to the, how this Big Pocket Dam warrant article and budget will move forward. So I don't think by waiting until January to hold a meeting, I think that gives you plenty of time and the select board time to put forth a final rendition of the warrant.
Okay, we don't have a meeting in December. That sounds good. No meeting in December. If we can't get something important done by 17th December, let's just wait till January.
Yeah, Carl has his hand up. So where's Carl? Oh, there he is. Okay.
I am right here. I have the questions about the minutes. You mentioned that having them posted within 5 days of the meeting, how could they? It's not possible to have the minutes approved within 5 days.
The draft minutes. It's important for the.
So the draft minutes.
The right to rule wants the draft minutes made publicly available within 5 business days of the meeting.
The draft minutes. Okay.
In our case, we have the site, we have the video recording on our website for anyone to view. So I believe that gives us a little bit of leeway, but you still have to deliver these minutes 5 business days afterwards. I mean, anybody who really wanted to know what happened at the meeting could view it on the video recording.
Unfortunately, the video has no legal thing like that, so the minutes still need to get posted, I believe. So even if we have the video available right after the meeting.
Okay, well, in any case, I was talking to Nico about this, and he's going to pursue it. But his understanding is from this video workshop that we both attended, that the draft minutes need to be available within 5 business days of the meeting. And we have not been able to do that for several meetings. So Mr.
Chairman, again, for my experience in this. What that means is that if anyone 5 days after the meeting requests to see the minutes, they need to be available for that person or any person to see. Doesn't mean they have to be literally posted on a website. They just have to be available. So 5 days after this meeting, for example, if I make a request to see the minutes or to have to be able to see them, I have to be accommodated. Whether they're draft minutes, whether they're less than draft, they're just notes. That's what that means. It doesn't mean that they actually have to be posted. They have to be available. Anyone has to be provided the ability to look at those minutes.
Okay, and looking at the video recording of the meeting is not the same thing.
It has to be written minutes. The video does not meet the standards of the RSA.
Well,
it is backup only.
I'm very embarrassed that we have not complied with this in my memory. We've been late on several meetings worth of minutes.
I wouldn't be embarrassed. I think it's across the board problem in the town.
Yeah. Okay. Carl.
So to me, it does make sense to post the draft minutes. It makes sense to have the draft minutes available and post when they're approved. Does that comply?
Well, I think in the past, Pam has posted the draft minutes when they're available, but I don't know what is required. I mean, I guess they need to be at the town hall where somebody could pick them up, but these days the town hall isn't open to the public. So there you go. It's complicated.
I can interject. I think the reason we haven't seen Don put his hand up is that he is quite far left of center. In the picture.
In the picture?
Right, so we can't see his right hand.
Don has his mic off, so I can't hear the swearing he's doing right now.
Hey, Dick, I don't think we need to make a problem with this. The problem, we can't get our minutes posted because it's a difficulty with the secretary. It's a town problem. It's across the board. Let's just raise it with the selectmen and move on.
Okay, well, that has been done.
We'll do about it.
That has been done. I've talked to Nico about it. He said he would follow up, so we'll see what happens.
That's about all we can do.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm hearing that perhaps we want to have our next meeting January 21st, and by that time, maybe we'll have something to find out about the budgeting and so forth. Everybody in agreement with that? Okay, we're all in agreement. Wait a minute, Carl has his hand up.
Sorry, just hadn't taken it back down. Sorry.
All right. Okay. I found it. How about that? I saw it. I got to look at this bigger screen to my left to see all these things. Okay. So I guess if we all agree that the next meeting is January 21st at 3:00, I think we're set to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning? Let's see. Who wants to set somebody has to provoke a motion.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Lionel motioned and Ginny seconded.
Mm-hmm.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?